Sometimes in boating, you're just gonna need a little help, just like some of the people we'll see in this episode. Welcome back everybody to this week's episode of Boating News of the Week. Our first story to make the boating news this week is going to take us over to New Zealand in Manu Bay, where this was the scene this past weekend, when three fishermen launched their vessel trying to head out through the bay on a fishing trip to find out the conditions weren't exactly as forecast. As can be seen here as this crew gets pummeled by a 10-foot wave at the mouth of the bay. Fortunately, all three crew members on board the vessel were wearing life jackets at the time of the incident, and local lifeguards saw the incident happen and were able to quickly launch a rescue PWC and get the three men pulled out of the water. Details that came out after the incident revealed that surfers actually tried to stop this boat from launching, letting the crew know that it was pretty rough out there and they probably shouldn't try and go out this day, but the offshore forecast called for calm seas, which may have misled these fishermen into not believing that the channel itself would be that rough. Also, other details that came out claimed that this boat did not belong to the captain. They actually borrowed this vessel, which makes me feel horrible for the owner of the boat. But as a boat owner, if you're loaning your boat to anybody, this just serves as a reminder, you need to double check the weather as well, and if things don't look good, you need to stop your friends from taking it out. Our next story to make the boating news this week is going to take us over to the Swan River in Australia, where this was the scene just a little over a week ago. Here we just witnessed a 34-foot vessel that was traversing back into the Swan River at night, probably going a little too fast, and it wound up colliding with a commercial fishing charter vessel that was at anchor in the river. Fortunately, at the time of the incident, there was nobody on board the commercial fishing vessel, and somehow miraculously, everybody winds up being okay off the vessel that was traversing the Swan River as well.
They've gone straight from, as I'm filming this, they've gone straight from this side, straight through the canopy, all the way over. That's a good one.
It's currently estimated that the damage to the commercial fishing vessel will be well over $100,000. There is currently an investigation underway trying to determine the cause of the incident. Right now it is believed that speed played a major role in this. This is a speed restricted area due to the number of vessels that are typically at anchor in this section of the river. Our next story to make the boating news this week is going to take us over to Trinidad and Tobago, where this was the scene just a little over a week ago when the lift boat Daniela was trying to demobilize itself, and the crew noticed the vessel started to list and began to capsize. At the time of the incident, the Daniela was engaged in routine operations and preparing for departure from Heritage Petroleum's North Field. Fortunately, the crew of the Daniela was able to quickly get an SOS call out, and Heritage Petroleum had several boats in the area, and they were able to successfully rescue the 6 crew members off the Daniela before the boat succumbed to the seas. At this time, the owner of the vessel, Trinity Lift Boat Services, is trying to coordinate salvage operations and hoping to ensure that during this process there are no oil spills. It is believed there were approximately 900 barrels of diesel fuel on board the vessel at the time of the incident. Our next story to make the boating news this week is going to take us over to Reunion Island in the Indian Ocean, and this may look familiar to some of you as this is the Trust a Star, which wound up crashing on Reunion Island back in February when it lost power during a tropical cyclone. The breaking news on the Trust a Star is that the French government has decided this will now be the permanent home of the Trust a Star. Unfortunately, they've explored all options on trying to get this vessel removed from the beach, anything from air to water removal, and even building a road to get equipment out there to try and move the vessel. And after determining every situation, they've come to the decision that unfortunately the only logical choice is to leave the boat where it is and let Mother Nature do its work. Initially, a Chinese company was brought in to salvage the vessel but wound up leaving Reunion Island after 2 weeks of being there due to default on payment. The French government's closest option they had was actually building a road to get heavy equipment out to try and remove the vessel, but unfortunately it would take 2 years just to build the road, and by that point in time, who knows how much of the vessel will be left. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode of Boating News of the Week. If you ever see anything crazy happening on your waterways, be sure to hit us up on Facebook or Instagram and let us know when you might see your stories over here. Just like Picasso West, Andrew Marley, and Alex Voigt did this week. And if you guys haven't already, go ahead and drop an anchor on the subscribe button here. If not, we're coming to steal your drain plug.